just getting started!
Yo, what is going on, all my wonderful but amazing viewers? It's your boy, Real Gamins, back with another video. And before anything, I would like to start by saying thank you for all my current and new viewers taking the time of your day to stop by. So really, it helps out the channel, and thank you. Now, without wasting any more time, let's get straight into what the video is about, which is Quantum PREC. Oh boy, so in this video, there's a lot to speak about. As for the single target loadouts I have, as for the range loadouts I have, as for if it's best to use Whirling Dervish and Vortex Trap in the same loadout, there are many things to speak about as far as Quantum. Not to mention, this power has some nice moves that will spike up your damage. Other than the moves that this power has to offer, I do feel this power is one of the best PREC powers, other than electric and gadgets of course, but still. And the fact that we are comparing this power with possibly those other two should already tell you that much. But yeah, if you guys are ready, please show me the appreciation by hitting the like button. Let's go for what, 40-45 likes, which shows me you guys would like to see another loadout video. Also, possibly leave a comment with your next power recommendation so I can heart your comment, or just leave some feedback as to what I could do differently throughout the video. But yeah, let's get straight into it. As for the first single target loadout, here are the moves. We are using Anomaly and Warped Reality, Phase Dodge and Neo Venom. Finally, we are using Whirling Dervish and Robot Sidekick. For the weapons, I'm using Dual Wield and Bow for their masteries. Super Speed is your best movement, especially with it giving you moves to cancel your animation. Here are the iconics, and finally, the stat tree. Okay, getting straight into the first single target loadout, which some would actually say, why use a supercharge generator as a move? Which my answer to that is simple, it does a lot of damage. As you guys see, there's nothing too special that I'm doing with the rotation. This loadout is mainly to be used on a boss that has a lot of adds with the group. Applying the move once leaves a dot on the enemy, taking for around 5 to 6k for what, 3 to 4 times, and that actually builds up on a lot of damage. Another possible move that can compete with Anomaly is Distortion Wave. Although they may have the same similar base damage, Anomaly sets the dot while still building supercharge, as for Distortion Wave, costing way more power in the process, and not building supercharge nor setting a dot at the end of its move. So with all that being said, hey, you guys pick what's better, but here's what my numbers are looking like. Okay, getting straight into our next loadout, and with this loadout we are now keeping focus on the boss rather than the adds. Plus we are now using GravitonField instead of Anomaly. As I was looking for other moves, GravitonField was the possible choice, with it being affected by the Grimm's PI. Plus, Quantum is that one off power that kind of has 2 PIs for its moveset, therefore meaning you have options as to what you could do with your single target burn. But then again, I do prefer using this move because as you guys see with my numbers, they're pretty high. As you guys see, I'm averaging some high 90s going into the 100Ks, but there's not much more to explain, so I'm going to let this clip play out. Okay, getting straight into our first range loadout. Here are the moves. We are using Singularity and Warped Reality, Robot, and Vortex Trap. Finally, Whirling Dervish and Neo Venom. Okay, getting straight into our first loadout. We did replace Phase Dodge for Vortex Trap, and with doing so, Vortex Trap feels a bit smoother when doing the rotation versus Phase Dodge, possibly being your only move on cooldown, especially with you spamming Singularity every 2 to 3 seconds. So I don't see Phase Dodge being that useful of a move than Vortex. Now, speaking of Singularity can do one of two things, which one, if you're above the CR level or just have more than enough dominance, you will be pulling the adds like I am doing so. And secondly, despite not being able to pull adds, you will still throw the dot onto the first initial ad that you hit, which does leave a dot onto the other ads that are nearby, hitting up to 4 times, but on that 4th hit, it will explode, causing half the base damage of Singularity from when you first threw it out. straight into our next range loadout. As you guys see with the numbers, which are flying, Anomaly is hitting really hard. Be aware with Anomaly building supercharge, you could actually add the Scrap of the Soul Cloak, but just make sure you don't have the extended chest mod just in case of your artifacts at 200. Nothing else too major with the rotation. The only other thing I would call out is Whirling Dervish, which when using the move and it goes on cooldown, there will be random moments to where it will cancel its own cooldown, meaning you can use the move once and then you can use the move again without it being on cooldown, similar to how the purple healing ray works, although it has its moments to where it will and will not do it. So I wouldn't too much rely on it. The only way Whirling Dervish should be used is using it once, skipping it for around 2 to 3 seconds, which is its normal cooldown, and then you should be able to use it right away like I just did. Okay, so I may have some viewers tune into this section before even watching the full video to possibly get a better understanding of what each cancel move can do, which means I will try and explain this section to the best of my abilities and so everybody can possibly understand everything that's being explained without having to rewind the video too much. So as you guys see in the background, I'm popping no moves but showing you guys my base damage, which is actually going to be our starting point of where we're judging all of our damage. So for the 3 rotations, I hit for 33, 32, and then 41 with a higher crit rate at the end. And be aware, I have no artifacts on besides the transformation card. Now when using phase dodge and with it already having a long enough cooldown, I do recommend using another superpower that possibly has a similar or even longer cooldown than phase dodge. Now personally, I do run phase dodge on majority of my loadouts, but then again, phase dodge is that one move that's normally on cooldown, although if it is on cooldown for majority of its time, you can still throw out some good damage with maybe some of the other moves in your rotation. But still, here are the numbers that I'm hitting for. Now to speak about my thoughts with Vortex Trap. Now when comparing Phase Dodge and Vortex, I really do believe Phase Dodge is that better suited move just because 1, it's a lot smoother with the animation cancel. Also, it does allow you to clip multiple moves at once while still maintaining that weapon damage. Now with Vortex Trap, I still prefer using it, although if our rotation isn't filled with burst moves and moves with short cooldowns, you're possibly not using the loadout to its full potential, especially with Vortex having a fast cooldown like it does. Some moves to consider using are Singularity and Anomaly, Distortion Wave, or even Time Lift, making sure when Vortex is on cooldown, you just pop one or the other and switch back and forth. Now getting straight into the one move that everybody switches to super speed for, which is Whirling Dervish. As I said earlier, Whirling Dervish has a chance of possibly cancelling its own cooldown, which if you pay attention, it just cancelled like so. And yeah, there's not much to really speak about as far as Whirling Dervish. It's a really good cancel move where it comes off a cooldown really quick, and with it having a fast cooldown, that means if you're quick enough, you can reapply the move right away. As you guys see by my numbers and compare it to Vortex and Phase Dodge, obviously Whirling Dervish is on top, which means it's going to have better numbers. So I'm hitting for 52, 58, and 50. Okay, getting straight into our gear mods, here's what we're running with. As for the gear mods, there's nothing too special that we're running with, although it's more important to focus on your helmet, chest, and back mod. For your back mod, I do recommend running Accelerated Warped Reality. And for your helmet and chest mod, for your chest, you can do Core Strength or Extended Supercharge, and for your helmet, just run the Supercharge that you're most likely going to be spamming. Finally, for the artifacts, we're running the Transformation card, Strategist card, and finally the Grim. Another good choice of an artifact is the Scrap of the Soul Cloak, which as you guys know, it just builds Supercharge on a really fast level, especially with Anomaly being a Supercharge generator but a strong move as well. So hey, Quantum is giving you options. And just like that, we are closing on the video. Well, besides me letting the gameplay play out, there's a lot that we've covered and spoke about, but then again, I hope you guys have all enjoyed the video. Quantum isn't the easiest power to explain, but then again, there are many players that play the game differently. Some may need an explanation, or some may just care about the loadout and how much damage you do. Some pros and cons about the power for those possibly wanting to switch. A pro would be all the move choices you have, especially with Anomaly being a supercharge generator, which I do consider it being the biggest pro. I mean, it just does a lot of damage, so you guys may have to switch to the power and find out yourself. Now, one of the biggest cons I have with this power are some of the moves that you may want to use in your loadout aren't affected by the Grim, which may not be that big of an issue, but then again, me personally, I like to push out damage from whatever move I may do, and I would like to know my move has a PI. So I'm going to stop talking here. I think that's enough of me ranting. If you guys would like to switch, I would personally recommend it, but hey, leave me some feedback in the comment section. Please let me know how I did, and thank you for tuning in. Take care, and I'll let this gameplay play out.